when I have conversations with my friends, instead of talking about football or work or things like that, it's mostly about medical tests, injuries, or how they're adjusting their new sleep apnea machine. The other thing that's weird is they start doing strange things like give driving directions, even when it's completely unnecessary. For example, for instance, I don't have to tell you that when you leave the parking lot here, you make a right on the Rio Salado, not a left, and when you get to Priest, you make a right to get on the 202 up here, and then you get on the 51. Unless there's a lot of traffic, in which case you got to get on 44th Street and go up to Camelback to get on the 51. I don't have to tell you that. But you guys get that. Okay. All right. I do a lot of traveling too, and one of the things that I really hate is when people get next to you on the plane and they got smelly food. I was next to a guy the other day who had corn nuts. He didn't have any food, he just had corn nuts. I guess that joke isn't about food after all. All right, the other thing that happened the other day, is I was getting on a plane for a really, really long flight. And I was really worried about, what the guy would have, if the guy would have smelly food next to me, or if he'd do something else to make me feel uncomfortable. And when I got to my seat, it was a priest in a full collar and everything. So now I was worried about whether he would feel comfortable. And when I sat down, I just put my hand on his thigh, and that calmed us both right down. So I also read that the National Institute of Mental Health estimates that 26.2% of the population is crazy. Yeah, maybe some people are here. Yeah, I read that, and when I read that, that pissed me off so much I wanted to rip my clothes off and run through the streets naked and shoot a squirt gun at those guys for saying that about Americans. Instead, I think I'll just run for Congress. And that's when I'm going to rip my clothes off and run through the streets naked and shoot a super soaker at them. But one thing that really pisses me off is when people listen to celebrities instead of experts. For one thing, people aren't immunizing their kids anymore. And yeah, measles and mumps rates are going up. And it's all because 1993 Playboy Playmate of the Year, Jenny McCarthy, said that you shouldn't immunize your kids. Didn't Jenny McCarthy look in the mirror one day and say, if I have a kid, it's probably going to be stupid? She obviously didn't watch any of her own MTV videos. It's not autism because the kid came from her loins. She could hump Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking in a three-way and the kid would still turn out to be a doofus. It's because of her, because she's stupid. I would call her retarded, but she wouldn't understand that word. She's too stupid. We just finished the holidays. I don't know anybody who likes the holidays a little bit too much. Yeah, my mom liked holidays too much. She had 3 Christmas trees, 10 Christmas wreaths. She even had a menorah to make sure she had all her bases covered. In 1 year, I'm not making this up, she baked 500 dozen cookies. That's 6,000 cookies. She never invited anybody over. She bought tons of presents. I got underwear, socks, paper, dry goods, and gift wrap boxes of tomato soup. Never anything I wanted. 1 year I did get Spider-Man underoos though. I was 15. And that was okay because she did let me take them back to the store. The problem was the guy at the store, at the return counter, was one of my classmates from school. So next day, instead of being Greg, the guy with too much soup, I was Underoo Boy. Those teachers were really mean. But it really used to piss my dad off when she'd buy so much stuff. And every year after presents, he complained about it. And every year she'd say the same thing. Well, I'm probably going to die this year, so I can do whatever I want. And every year I'd hear him mutter under his voice, if there's a God, Joyce, if there's a God. Of course, every November I was really scared. And I'd wake up screaming, Mom's going to die, Mom's going to die. And then she wouldn't, and I'd have more soup. Most people had mementos, want mementos of their mom. I have storage units full of mementos, mostly soup. And I still have some of the cookies in the freezer. And when my kid was young, I bought him presents exactly what he wanted. It's really easy when they're little, right? You go to Toys R Us and you look for anything that's not pink and you put it in the shopping cart. Although he did go through a phase where he wanted a lot of pink stuff, but I took him to a bunch of football games, so we're okay. And now though the problem is he's 13. Does anybody have teenagers?
Woo.
Yeah, they want 1 or 2 things that's really expensive, right? Yeah, like he wants a $500 gift card, or he wanted a laptop this year, or he wanted some video game I don't understand. I hope this year he enjoyed his underwear, socks, and tomato soup. And Spider-Man underoos. All right.